A crisis is spiraling across East Asia, and Japan is suddenly racing to put out the fire. As Chinese ships push into Senkaku waters and Beijing warns citizens to stay away from Japan, Tokyo has rushed its top diplomat to Beijing to stop the confrontation from exploding. But is this de-escalation, or the last calm before a military clash? Japan dispatched its top Asia diplomat to Beijing on November 17th in an urgent bid to contain a diplomatic crisis with China over Taiwan that threatens to inflict serious economic damage on both countries. Kanai Masaki, Director General of the Foreign Ministry's Asian and Oceanian Affairs Bureau, arrived with instructions to convince Chinese officials that Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's controversial remarks about Taiwan represent no fundamental shift in Japanese security policy. During a parliamentary session on November 7th, Takaichi suggested Tokyo could take military action if Beijing attacked Taiwan, breaking with decades of careful diplomatic ambiguity that previous administrations maintained to avoid provoking China. The statement triggered swift retaliation from Beijing. China summoned Japan's ambassador on November 14th for the first time in over 2 years to lodge what it termed a strong protest. Chinese Consul General in Osaka Shui Jian escalated tensions by posting on social media that the dirty neck that sticks itself in must be cut off, prompting several Japanese politicians to demand his expulsion. Taiwan sits barely 101 kilometers from Japan's westernmost islands along sea lanes vital for energy imports. Japan also hosts the largest concentration of American military forces outside the United States, making any Taiwan conflict a matter of immediate strategic concern for Tokyo. Meanwhile, a formation of Chinese Coast Guard ships sailed through waters around the Senkaku Islands on November 16th. Japan administers the islands, but China claims them as the Diaoyus. The Diaoyus are disputed East China Sea islands claimed by China, Japan, and Taiwan. Japanese Cabinet Chief Secretary Minoru Kihara told reporters the Chinese activities violated international law.
It is deeply regrettable and unacceptable that the Chinese Coast Guard ships intruded into our territorial waters around the Senkaku Islands. We will continue to maintain vigilance and do our utmost to monitor the situation around the islands while responding to China in a calm and resolute manner.
The islands have served as a flashpoint since Japan nationalized them in 2012, triggering massive protests across China and a sharp drop in Chinese visitors. China's foreign ministry cautioned its citizens against visiting Japan on November 14th, with the Ministry of Culture and Tourism formally advising on November 17th that Chinese nationals avoid traveling to Japan, citing significant risks to personal safety following Takaichi's statements. The ministry told Chinese nationals already in Japan to monitor security conditions closely.
The Ministry of Culture and Tourism of China solemnly reminds Chinese tourists to avoid traveling to Japan in the near future. Chinese citizens already in Japan should closely monitor the local security situation, raise their safety awareness, and strengthen self-protection.
Following the initial announcement on November 14th, tourism-related Japanese stocks have tumbled. It remains to be seen whether Japan's outreach actually bears any results or is a military escalation inevitable. As of now, it seems difficult as the Chinese on November 17th announced that Premier Li Qiang will not meet the Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi on the sidelines of the upcoming G20 summit in South Africa.
I can tell you that Premier Li Qiang has no plans to meet with any of the Japanese leaders. The wrongful remarks made by Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi regarding Taiwan have deeply hurt the sentiments of the Chinese people and severely deteriorated the atmosphere for people-to-people exchanges between China and Japan.